No one expected this team to even reach this stage until one unbelievable moment changed everything. For the first time in their history, DR Congo was playing a World Cup knockout match, and for nearly 70 minutes, they weren't just surviving against England, they were beating them. A nation with zero World Cup knockout experience, outplaying one of the tournament favorites on the biggest stage in football. But this story doesn't end the way you think, because what happened in the final minutes would change everything. Before we get to Atlanta, we have to go back to the group stage, because DR Congo's road here was anything but easy. DR Congo failed to win their first two matches in Group K, a group stacked with Portugal, Colombia, and Uzbekistan. After 2 rounds, their World Cup was hanging by a thread. One more slip and the dream was over before it started. But nobody knew what was about to happen. In their final group match, DR Congo delivered when it mattered most. A victory over Uzbekistan allowed them to finish third in the group and advance as one of the best third-place teams. A result built on contributions from key players, including Fiston Mayele and Yohan Wissa. It marked the first time DR Congo had ever advanced this far at a World Cup. For a nation that had never even reached this stage, simply being here was already a historic achievement. Then the draw handed them a nightmare. Waiting in the round of 32 was England. What actually happened? England came into the match under real pressure. After 2 uninspiring performances in their last 2 World Cup group games, Thomas Tuchel's team desperately needed control, confidence, and a clean performance. They got none of that in the opening minutes. Then something unbelievable happened. In just the 7th minute, Brian Cipenga found space on the left side of the box and finished past Jordan Pickford. DR Congo, playing in their first ever World Cup knockout match, had just taken the lead against England. The stadium went quiet. The favorites were behind. Here's the part most people don't talk about. This wasn't a lucky smash and grab. This was one of the most disciplined defensive performances of the entire tournament. DR Congo produced a valiant defensive effort for most of the match, holding their lead for almost 70 minutes against relentless English pressure. And at the center of it all was one man refusing to let history slip away. Goalkeeper Lionel Mpasi made 5 saves in the losing effort, throwing himself at everything England could produce. Shot after shot, chance after chance, the door stayed shut. For over an hour, the underdog was outworking the favorite, and England's frustration was growing by the minute. However, football has a brutal habit of punishing even the smallest crack in the final moments. Turning point. That's where everything changed. With the clock working against them and pressure mounting, England turned to the one man built for exactly this moment. England narrowly defeated DR Congo 2-1 after Harry Kane scored twice in the closing minutes, 2 strikes, 2 hammer blows. In the space of a few minutes, 70 minutes of history and hope were wiped away. Those goals were the 4th and 5th of the 2026 World Cup for the Bayern Munich striker, proof of exactly why Tuchel trusted him when it mattered most. Harry Kane rescued England from an early exit at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. For DR Congo, there was no late twist in their favor, just heartbreak and the final whistle. The real story is even crazier when you look at what's at stake on both sides. For England, survival came at a cost. The victory moved them into the round of 16, where another big challenge awaits. But the warning signs from this match won't be ignored. For DR Congo, the consequence is elimination, but not embarrassment. They exit the tournament having proven on the biggest possible stage that they belong in this conversation. A team with no prior World Cup knockout history pushed England to the very brink, and everyone watching saw it happen. In Kinshasa and across DR Congo's diaspora communities around the world, the emotions swung wildly in the space of one match. For 70 minutes, fans allowed themselves to believe in something that had never been possible before. When Kane's goals arrived, the silence that followed said everything words couldn't. England's supporters, meanwhile, weren't celebrating. They were exhaling. A team many expected to cruise through this stage instead needed a last-gasp rescue just to stay alive. Tactically, this is a match that coaches and analysts will study for years. DR Congo's approach, sit compact, defend with discipline, strike on the counter, is the exact blueprint underdog nations have used to trouble bigger teams for decades. And for nearly the entire 90 minutes, it worked. But at World Cup level, the margin for error in the final stretch is almost non-existent. Fatigue sets in. Substitutions change the shape of the game, and elite quality like Kane's eventually finds a way through. It's a brutal reminder that 90 minutes of near-perfect football can still end in heartbreak if the last 5 aren't managed the same way. However, this result is remembered, one thing is certain: it changes the trajectory of football in DR Congo. An entire generation of young players and fans just watched their national team not merely participate at a World Cup, but genuinely threaten to beat one of the sport's traditional powers. Runs like this one plant seeds that grow for years. The players who stepped onto that pitch in Atlanta may be remembered as the group that proved DR Congo belongs on this stage. They didn't get the fairy tale ending, but for 70 unforgettable minutes, DR Congo made the entire football world stop, watch, and wonder if the impossible was happening. Sometimes, history isn't only written by the teams that win. Sometimes it's written by the teams that make the world believe, even for just one match. DR Congo's World Cup run is over, but this story is far from finished.